Happy Friday, peeps! Today's video is brought to you all by the Costco magazines I am currently hoarding. I keep any magazine that has a recipe I want to try, and it stays in a pile of shame for all eternity because I never pull them out to make them. But no more. Today is the day. We are going to try 3 different recipes from various Costco magazines, and I'll let you know which ones were winners and which ones will return to that pile of shame. So let's start things out on a sweet note. We're going to be making these chewy quinoa brownies, and these are what they look like. Healthy, right? So to start off, I'm going to cook my quinoa. I'm using the tricolor quinoa from Costco, and just make sure you follow the recipe. To a bowl, I'm going to add in some cocoa powder as well as some maple syrup. I think it calls for honey, but I substituted maple syrup. Some coconut oil, and some salt. And then you're going to want to add in as many chocolate chips as your heart desires. I added the quinoa and mixed this all together. And this was a bit of a challenge to mix. Definitely an arm workout, so you can eat double the amount of brownies. That's how that works, right? This is what it looked like when it was all mixed together. It's quite thick. I added it to my 8x8 baking dish that was lined with parchment paper. And then you just want to press it into the corners. I actually found using my hand worked a lot better. And then you can top them with whatever you want. Now, I will say these were not my favorite. The texture is just like eating quinoa, and they were not chewy or brownie-like in any way. So I will probably not be making these again, but they were good to try and definitely a very healthy alternative if that's what you're looking for. Next up is this asparagus chopped salad, though I think it should be called the everything but the kitchen sink salad because it has everything in it. I started off by peeling and slicing a cucumber as well as a carrot. Next up comes some radishes. I am not a big radish fan, but I actually didn't mind them at all in this salad, and I just sliced them really thin. I also sliced up an orange bell pepper as well. I was hoping to use some cherry tomatoes from my garden, but they weren't quite ready yet, so I just grabbed these grape tomatoes at the grocery store and just sliced these up as well. There's more. Hold on. Next, I sliced up some artichoke hearts as well as some red onion. And if you don't like red onion, again, you can soak that in cold water and it'll totally mute the flavor, or you can leave it out. Totally optional. Next comes the star of the show, the asparagus. I had some frozen fresh asparagus in my freezer, so I just threw that in and realized this bowl was not big enough. So I transferred it to another bowl and then added in the chickpeas. Yes. There's more. Drizzle that with some olive oil as well as some balsamic vinegar, salt, and pepper, and gave that a good mix. We have come to the last ingredient, ladies and gentlemen, some feta cheese. Sprinkle that in as much as you want and mix it up. We loved this salad. It had so much flavor. It was a great summer salad. Just be prepared to chop all the things for it. For this last recipe, we are going to be making some broccoli pesto mac and cheese. Yes, I am always looking at different ways to get broccoli into my children. So I'm going to start out with a pot of boiling water, and it says to get it to a roaring boil. I added in my broccoli and cooked that for about 3 minutes and then transferred it to my blender. And don't dump that water because you're going to cook your pasta in it right now. To my broccoli blender, I added in some walnuts and olive oil, and then you're just going to blend this until it is as pureed as your blender can do or as you like it. Then to my pan, I'm just going to melt in some butter and add in some flour. And you're going to want to mix this until it forms a paste. If you are new with cooking, this is called making a roux, and it's how you thicken different sauces like Alfredo or mac and cheese in our case. I seasoned it with some salt and pepper and then slowly added in some whole milk and mixed to combine. You're going to want to mix this until it reaches a desired thickness. So for me, I like it when I can scrape my spoon around the bottom of the pan and it leaves a trail. So this isn't quite ready yet. This is more like it. So when it gets to this consistency, I'm going to add in my cheddar cheese and mix that in. Magic, your sauce is now orange. You're going to add in your pasta and mix this all together. Now, if you don't want to do the broccoli part, you can totally just leave this as plain mac and cheese. But if you're doing the broccoli pesto, you're going to want to add that in now in small scoops and then mix it for a marbled effect, according to Costco's magazine. I kind of just got fed up with it and dumped it all in. My daughter and I were the only ones in our family who enjoyed this, but it was actually really good. It gave it such a good depth of flavor. I did end up adding some garlic powder and red pepper flakes, but I will definitely be making this again. Alright peeps, well that does it for today's video, and I will see you all next week. Happy weekend!